Hello there, and you're very welcome to another episode of the Arkham Avengers FFPL podcast. You join me, the host, along with Eamon, Hector, and Captain Fantastical Mick, where we take a look to see how the managers in this league are getting on for the season. However, we'll also be talking about much more. So kick back, stay tuned, and enjoy. And a very warm welcome to all our listeners, and thank you for joining us for another season. We hope everybody is keeping well since we've last spoken to you. And that's right, Arkham Avengers Fantasy Football League is back for 2022-23. And just to let you know, we have a few new managers who've already joined the league. It should prove to be an exciting year, I think. Before I move on, just a reminder to our new managers that they should send their contact details into us. In the event that should they win either the trophy or come second or third, we will need contact details to send you your prize. And you can either send your details privately to us in a DM on Twitter, or alternatively, you can email arkamavengersffpl@gmail.com. And just to let you know, your contact details won't be shared with anybody else. And one other note, this league will be closing for managers to join on the 12th of August. That's just before game week 2 commences. That's the notice board part over. Eamon, hello.
Hello and thank you. It's lovely to be back. I feel excited. It's nice to be back on the air again.
Mick, you're with us as well.
That's right, I'm thought to be back here, making an effort to be here for the start of the new season, and it's great. Everybody's looking great. You got a bit of sun, didn't you?
Indeed, I did get a bit of sun, yes. We haven't had much, but whatever there was, I soaked it up. Hector, you're back from your travels as well. Yeah, that's right, yes. Hello to everybody. You're back. Not long back. I actually got back yesterday, so I did. And it's good to be here. Nice to see Eamon, Mick, and I hope all our listeners are keeping well. Okay, Eamon, did you have a nice breakaway?
I did, yes. I was in Kerry and I was also in Sligo. I found it quite relaxing, even if the weather was a little off. But I'm glad to see the football is going to be back next week. I'm hoping for some good results and plenty of activity with our managers in this league for the season ahead.
And Mick, you were on holidays as well.
That's right, I was out in Giron in France. However, it didn't work out as planned, with all the wildfires. I don't know if you've seen it on the TV.
Oh, indeed we did. A little bit scary out there.
Well, this is a little bit more than scary, I think. A little bit out of control at times.
Well, I'll tell you what, there was an awful lot of smoke and heat, and it just made the conditions unbearable. We had to go to Montpellier to try and get some respite, and even there, it was too hot for me. I like the heat, but it was way too hot. I'm kind of glad to be back here in Ireland now. It's a little bit cooler, and look, I agree with what Eamon is. I'm hoping for some good results in this league this season. I think it's going to possibly shape up to be one of the best seasons that we've had. And of course, looking forward to our winner last season, Devon. He'll be coming back to retain his trophy, no doubt. But I think we have quite a few managers are going to be able to make their mark now in 2022-23 with this league.
I think we'd all agree with that now, Mick. And Hector, back from South America. How did you get on? I got on very well. It's nice to be back. And the family were all pleased to see me. They say they heard me on the podcast. They say I do really well. They think I got good voice for radio, and they were saying maybe I should go for radio UCP or maybe radio Imperial. I have the voice.
Sorry, where are these radio stations?
They're in Petropolis in Brazil.
Oh, right, okay. That's where you're from, is it?
Yes, that's right, I'm from there. That's where I'm from. But I say to Mama, I do work here on the podcast, and, I know leave. But it's nice to be back for another season. I look forward to the chat. I look forward to see how your managers get on there. And I take it you said your mother was doing up a special dinner for you. You were looking forward to this. Yeah, I was, we have what we call an esteo. Kind of like a barbecue here. You have these little metal frame crosses, and you put the meat and the chicken, the pork into it, and your charcoal fire, and it's bueno. If my mama you do that for me, it's very good. All right, that's great stuff. Okay, well look, nice to have you back. Nice to have each and every one of you back. Great. Moving on, Eamon Tackles. Is this going to be a feature, Eamon, every week, do you think?
If I can help it, yes, it will be on. I will be tackling several items each week, or items of importance.
Okay, so this is your segment, Eamon. Eamon Tackles.
Yes, Eamon Tackles.
And What's Eamon tackling this week?
Well, I'm going to tackle Hector about a statement he made just a few weeks ago. If we recall that Hector mentioned that he had a great belief in the theology and the psychology of the fantasy football transfers, and he's made reference to this, and I'm looking forward to hearing his explanation about this and his reasoning to this. So, Hector, can you tell us what is the theology and the psychology of these transfers that you speak earnestly about?
Thank you, Eamon. The transfer is the transfer, as you know, and all the manager need to remember, there will come a point when they need to do a transfer. That main point. How you do transfer? It can be influenced by other types of transfers, like what managers do. The money you got to transfer with, maybe the player who doing good, maybe he flavored in favor, or maybe a manager hear inner voice and they be guided to select another player.
Let me understand this correctly. Are you implying that fantasy football managers are hearing and listening to voices when it comes to making a football transfer?
Maybe they don't hear voice loud, but they hear voice inside.
Hold on, I'm a little bit lost here. You're after saying that they don't hear the voice inside. Where are they hearing the voice?
They hear it in their head. They hear in a voice, like God say, that player for you. However, managers only mean will transfer on policy player being informed on what the player they can afford. They see active transfers, they go with them. No go with them, or maybe manager look for inspiration and they contemplate first.
Okay, do you have any thing that support your theology and what you're just after faffing about here?
Amen. You have the football, yeah?
Yes, you have the football.
Then you have managers.
Yes, that's right. So you have the football and the manager, yes.
Then you have life.
What about the transfers?
They come under the realm of the football. The transfers will work. All ingredients fall into place. You have an inner voice and everything working around that to make a transfer. You have a manager who make transfer like other manager.
Is that it? Hold on a second. Is this your theology and your psychology?
See, Eamon, I will talk more about this over the coming weeks. I feel strong about this. I feel in depth about this, and I think that over coming week I will delve more into this, and I will explain to you and to our listeners more about how I see this.
I have to say, I don't know what to say. I'm actually not sure what that was we were listening to.
Listen, Mick, my advice is not to dwell on this too much. That's several minutes of my life that I'm never going to see again after listening to this drivel. And I think we'll move on from Eamon Tackles. I'm doubting whether this segment is going to have legs for the season. Eamon, in all fairness. I mean, you didn't tackle much there, did you? Well, in fairness, there's not much you could tackle with that. I mean, that was just the biggest lot of faff that I've heard. It sounded great, this theology and the psychology of the football transfers that he blathered about weeks ago. But when we get down to the nitty gritty, yet again, Hector is just reaching and grabbing at words that sound good but don't have substance.
Eamon, I tell you this. I have gone home. I have reflected. My words, they will be, how you say, measured this season.
Well, there might be a positive in that, so we won't hear so much out of you.
Moving along, so to players that you consider to be in a team. There's plenty of activity going on this summer with existing players and new players arriving and moving to different teams there. Can I put it out to you now, lads? Is there any particular player or players that you feel should be in a team, that our managers would listen and take note and say, I think I'll go for that guy if I don't have him already, or they might have him in the team? Mick, let's catch you off first.
Well, there's been a lot of talk about the Haaland and the Nunes. I think that Haaland is going to be a perfect fit for Man City, if you ask me. There's going to be a lot of threats from all over, especially coming from defence and midfield. He's going to be feeding off that, and I think he's going to be a real key player. When I look at Nunes, I think it's possible he'll work up partner up with Salah. Diaz is there as well, and he's shown really good form in the friendlies. We can't ignore that. Neto could be a surprise player in this year. I think if he stays fit, he's going to be a key part of that Wolves season, and he looks good. He looks the part, and he's fairly reasonable as well, so I wouldn't be writing him off.
Amen. Well, I think for a start, Jesus' move to Arsenal certainly has the appeal factor to it. Arsenal have been busy during this summer and look to be setting themselves to be a more attacking team. They're certainly bringing players in who I would say are hungry and looking to prove themselves within the team. There's a nucleus in that team there, and I think the players they brought in are adding to that there. Andreas Pereira, he looks a solid buy to me, and I expect him to be a key player in Fulham's season. Zinchenko's move to Arsenal is also going to bring an element of quality and versatility. I like him. He's a good player. I don't think he really got to shine as much in Man City because there's a lot going on at Man City. And a player that I think it looks like could be a wild card for me is Leeds' Luis Sinisterra. I think he could be a key winger and give them a much needed attack. Rafinha's gone now, so somebody's going to have to step up to the mark, and I think this is the guy for it. One final thought for me is regarding Jesse Lingard. He's moved to Nottingham Forest, and it's slightly surprised to me. I thought he would have gone to West Ham. He got on really well there when he was on loan to them, and West Ham have a good nucleus team. And look, this could work out, or might not work out for him, but Nottingham Forest have been busy as well in the transfer market, and as their first season up, they'll be expecting to have a bounce, and Jesse might feed into that.
And Hector, over to yourself. For me, I think goalkeeper Nick Pope. He got on Newcastle, he looked good, and I expect to him, he be staying in that team. He be starting at 11. Ivan Perisic. He's a rival to Spurs. He's an experienced player. He looks hungry. He's going to bring a lot of assists to this. He can play well to Son. I would not be here surprising. He want to be real high flyer in this. He go up and down pitch, no bother. He go like workouts day in, day out. Then there is a guy called Omar Richards, Nottingham Forest, and he looked like potential player for me. I like him. I like the look of him. He's good.
Very well. Okay, so there's your players to consider. Now, moving on to TCT. Timing, chips, and transfers. Now we're going to have a few tips from our panel. Hector, we'll start off with yourself first.
Number one, I say don't get too bogged down with trying to get the perfect team ready for game week 1. Select the team as best you can, and then what I would say is judge over the first 7 game weeks who you need to change. Look at the fixtures. Take Arsenal, for example. First 5 game weeks, you expect him to be picking up a lot of points there. Man City, first 6 game weeks, expect him to be gathering game points by bucket load. Wolves have 4 to 5 decent games already for 6, and I think that they have potential to do well. Liverpool have 5 to 6 of their first 7 game weeks. I would expect him to be hauling in the points also. But you don't also figure out what they like at the Chelsea, Aston Villa, the Spurs. So I think you need to get the players in from the like of those teams. Good game weeks, nothing too taxing, chance to get plenty of points. As for the ships, be in no rush to use them. That's what I say. Keep your wild card until at least midway through the first part of the season, and I know ships until the new year. I would not use bench boost or triple captain. I would leave them be there. And when I come to the transfers, I think in the first 7 game weeks you need to limit 3 to 4. Don't do a transfer every week if no need to do it. They are just for the sake of it. Settle. Take it easy. Everything will fall into place.
Thanks for that there, Hector. Eamon.
And I think the timing of the transfers needs to maximize the full potential and the return so as to get the gain from that and get an advantage from that. You're looking to get the points in. Don't panic is what I would say. A player not performing for 2 or 3 game weeks can still come good. So I wouldn't be jettisoning anybody just yet. As for the chips, like Hector, look at the fixtures. And in case the bench boost, if you got a subs team who are performing, it might be worthwhile to consider slotting that in if there's a good game week coming up there and these guys are doing it week in, week out for you, to hit that bench boost.
And Mick, your tips. Well, I think you need to balance your team out from the start. Keep about $500,000 or $1 million in the bank for any transfers. My advice would be to run with the team selection that is there for game week 1 for at least 4 game weeks. Unless you picked up some injury or the player suspended, stick with that team. Don't chip and change them too much. Remember, transfers are there to strengthen your team, not weaken it. And don't transfer just because other managers are doing it. Some managers are transfer happy. Don't go down that road after them there. As for the chips, hold the triple captain. I wouldn't use it too early. I think I'd save it for the second half of the season.
Okay. And finally the first few game weeks, what are our panels saying about this for managers?
Well, I was kind of adding there previously, let your team settle. New players coming into the Premier League, still adapting to the pace and the physicality of the English football. Watch the other players, but don't be rushing in to do the transfers.
Hector?
I think you want to break your season down into game week 4 or 5 blocks. Take your game weeks like that and see how things are going. How are they working for you? Player not working, you ship him out. Sorry, what? A player not working, you ship him out. Oh yeah, sorry, no, that's okay. And but don't do it after the first game week. Wait, let them settle. So you like cream settling on coffee. You give them stuff.
Amen. Final word. I think all the managers and all pundits all have opinions. And each one thinks their opinion is better than someone else's. Do listen to the opinions of others, is what they would say, but don't be blindsided by them. Transfer when you need to effect a positive change, and also think of the season ahead. Well, thank you very much, lads, for that insight, those tips. I hope some of our managers and even some of our listeners are going to go away and ponder on this. And that's it. Our first episode of the new season comes to an end. Next week, before Game Week 1 kicks off, we might just recap on a few of the items such as transfers, dead chips, makeup of teams. I know we have discussed this before, and any of our listeners, existing or new, would be able to get that from the start of our previous season, and we'll put those in the show notes just in case if you're wondering what episodes, but we might touch on that. Would you agree with that, lads? Would it be worthwhile? I think it would be worthwhile, yes. And we probably also can have a look to see what managers we have in. Now, we won't see their teams, but we'll have an idea of the managers, who's come back, who's new, and maybe see if there's any details to any of those.
I agree with Eamon. Yeah, very good. We will see what is happening. Sound.
Okay. New word for the season, is it?
I told you. I will be measured with my words this season.
Okay. And Mick?
Yeah, I think it's not a bad idea just to do a little recap there. I know most of the managers, new ones themselves now, should be getting themselves acquainted. There's no harm. I think so, yeah, that's good.
All right, okay. Well, thank you, lads. That's it. Lovely to have you back on board for the new season. I hope that you enjoy the rest of the week and the weekend ahead, and we'll be talking to you next week. Hector, shout out.
Well, I have thought about this.
And what was your conclusion when you thought about this?
I think perhaps maybe I will just say to our listeners, thank you for listening to us and have a good week, and nice to have you back with us.
Well, that's some turnaround, isn't it, Eamon? Well, I tell you something, where was this fella last season when he was shouting for this country, that country and every country?
I think, is this the real Hector? Is Hector actually coming back, or is this somebody else?
It is me. I tell you, measured is what I be.
Well, there you go. Thank you very much for all of that. And I don't think there's much more we can really say, is there? I don't think so. I don't feel like saying anything more at this time. But it's a long season. And as measured as Hector says he is, I think he'll become unmeasured before the season's out. Very well, lads. Until next week, thank you for coming in. And to you, our listeners, once again, we would like to thank you for joining us, for listening to us, for taking part in the Football League. If you would like to get in touch with the show, you can send us a message on Twitter. We're at Arkham Avengers, or alternatively, you can always send us an email at arkamavengersffpl@gmail.com. And all that remains for me to say is thank you for joining us. Have a good morning, a good afternoon, good evening, and a good night. We're everywhere in the world. Do take care. We look forward to you joining us next week. Slán.